Recording. Welcome, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Thanks for joining the Antrea community meeting. Today is Tuesday, October the 12th, or if you're still in the US, it's Monday, October the 11th. And for today, there aren't much topics on the agenda. We had an idea proposed by Jay on the Slack channel around a different format for the office hours, just to make them a little bit more lively and to involve more community members. I see that Jay is joining in this moment, so we'll wait a little. 1 second, this is correct. Okay, so as I was just mentioning, the main topic on the agenda for today is a proposal for making the Antrea office hours a little bit more lively and exciting, let's say, from Jay. You might read more about the proposal on the Slack channel, but I will now let Jay speak directly about it. Please go ahead, Jay.
Oh, hey. Yeah, so, well, I'm honored to be able to be the first item on the agenda, but maybe I'm the only item on the agenda. I don't know. But yeah, cool. So my thinking was, yeah, I spent a lot of time going to various community meetings for things like the CNI group and for other CNI providers. And I've ran a few of these live streams for other things like, and I think it would be cool if this is kind of a conversation that we've bounced around back and forth with Antonin, June Jen, and Abhishek. I've pinged them a few people, and I was thinking, it'd be cool if we had a sort of like a weekly hack session where we kind of just dug into stuff somewhat spontaneously on the Antrea side and kind of just looked where it went. And maybe not always specifically to Antrea, maybe we dig into things like, the way CNI works and the difference between Antrea agent versus Antrea CNI. And maybe we dig into things like L7 and things like that. Node port local services and Antrea proxy and different things. And so like that would require, but then at the same time, there's this, so you could have a sort of a stream where you covered all these things and you played around with them and you built a little bit more community friendly vibe that might invite people to come and ask questions and learn about how Antrea works. But then we also have office hours, and I believe, I don't usually go to the office hours, but I believe right now our office hours attendance isn't super high. Is that true? I'm not 100% sure.
I believe that's correct.
Yeah. Okay. So if that's actually the case, then, I think the idea, I believe it was me, Antonin and I were kind of discussing, like, I think was, well, maybe we could sort of try making the office hours a little bit more of a sort of, like a live stream, sort of interactive, sort of show sort of thing. So people can come, and if they don't have a topic, we'll play around with some stuff, and we'll, play around with some random Antrea features and see if we can get them working or see if we can break things. And if they have topics that they want to talk about, then they can just join the stream, right? Like they could ask comments, they can leave comments, they can leave flyby questions. They could also just, I could just back channel with them and say, hey, okay, feel free to join the stream, or we could have some way for people to join the stream depending on what technology we used for it. And it seems like it's pretty low risk, since right now we're still kind of growing our community and we're still pretty young and nascent as a CNI. So it probably wouldn't be a huge deal either way if our approach changed over time. And I I have been warned that it might be tricky to come up with new content every week, but I think there's at least 10 or 15 weeks of interesting ideas worth exploring that either would just turn into living, breathing documentation, or may actually help us to grow the amount of people that understand Antrea and understand how it works to start. So that's kind of my pitch. For me, it's selfishly just an excuse to go and play with Antrea live and hang out and make some new friends. Something I would like to start digging back into more anyways. And I haven't had a chance to. So that's what I was thinking, and totally open to anybody else co-hosting it if they're interested, or with me, or anything like that. Anything along those lines. So yeah, what do folks think?
I simply believe that it's a wonderful idea. I mean, I did not attend many office hours meetings, as they are typically at 11 p.m. my time, but the ones that I attended were like there were no more than 3 or 4 community members, the usual faces typically. So we had pretty much zero ability to attract community members outside the circle of let's say of frequent committers. And therefore, yeah, that would be a nice idea to attract also some people from the user community, from the larger Kubernetes community. Yeah, so I think that's great, really a great idea. I mean, you already have identified the main challenge, which will be being able to come up with some new content every week, but pretty sure that moving forward over time, we'll find a solution for that too.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I think, my thought was some stuff like, when we first start, like simple things like how Antrea works on kind, or how Antrea network policies are implemented, like little things like that have been presented previously in different forums, would be sort of the starting point, so that's why I feel like there's plenty of content, because like once you get through that, there's probably 2-3 months worth of features we haven't even talked about yet that have been added. And, I could see it slowing down after a year or something, or after 6 months, but yeah, okay, cool. Thanks, Salvatore. I appreciate your support on the idea. Does anybody have any uh, other thoughts on it, or does anybody want to help co-host a show? Because these are always more fun when there's 2 or 3 people, or who are kind of able to like bounce around different experiential knowledge.
Yeah, I think we can look into that. If you have an idea of a first topic, then probably 1 or 2 people can join along.
Cool. Cool. Well, from there, I mean, I will. It looks like Junjin's got a thumbs up from him, so I'll do the paperwork and work with. I've talked to Susan Wu, who does some marketing for y'all and stuff, and so I'll do the paperwork and see what we need to do to set it up and everything, and get the ball rolling, and probably reach out if I need to figure out how to get access to anything. I guess currently, probably Antonin, you're probably the person to ping, I guess, about that.
Yeah, I told Suzanne she could add you to the YouTube channel, so you should be able to
okay.
upload videos there. And yeah, I think as far as live streaming, you have more experience there, so I'm sure you know what to do.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can get the ball rolling on it and fiddle around with that. And yeah, I'll keep in touch. And of course, if anybody else wants to do it, to help out in any of this stuff, or do a show or join one, like just like whatever, like I don't. Anyone can kind of do like I'm totally happy to do any arbitrary topic any week, or switch the plan if folks are interested in something and they want to share it. So just reach out to me. Everybody knows where to find me. I'm in the Antrea channel and Upstream.
Yeah, and the channel is probably the best place to announce the live streams and share the topics ahead of time.
Yeah, I agree.
And I just saw Vicky. Looks like the Windows engineers are joining now. So, so if there's any updates there, happy to hear them.
Yeah, Jay, sorry, I think I joined the meeting late. So you're talking about Windows performance?
Oh no, I was just talking in general about doing some sort of revitalizing the Antrea community meeting and into like a live stream type thing. Different topic. But then I saw you join and I figured maybe you had some Windows topics. So I was like, oh, cool, Vicky's here.
Okay, I see.
So Vicky, today we just discussed nothing related to Antrea as a project or the different integrations with Antrea. We just discussed a different format for the office hours meeting, which is you know, the bi-weekly meeting that goes every other week at 2 p.m. California time. The idea is to make it more entertaining for the community, more informative, and Jay is going to lead that with a new format. You know, will include live stream and presenting the various Antrea feature with sort of deep dives. And yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Yeah, the only problem that is going to be at 5 in the morning your time. Because that's the time of the office hours. So anyway, so many thanks, Jay, for taking the lead of this initiative. And now, as Jay guessed, we don't have any other topic on the agenda for today. It's unfortunately, it's a particular day where we are very short on topics. I only have a very boring public service announcement for today. I don't know if you have any topic to bring up, maybe related to KubeCon, which, as you know, is going on this week. I don't think that any one of us traveled there, right? Is any one of us in Los Angeles at the moment?
Nope, but we have the project office hours tomorrow. I don't know if that's what you wanted to announce, but
that would be, yes, that would be one. That would be an announcement, but not the boring one. The boring one was slightly different. Yes, tomorrow we have the the office hours, which, if I'm not mistaken, are 5 p.m. California time. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I don't know if I can find a link to the event. If anyone has a link, please put it in the chat.
Yeah, that's 5 p.m. California time, which makes them suitable for both the West Coast, East Coast, and most importantly for China, so that, you know, all the our contributors based in Beijing should be able to attend the office hours. I believe that it should be at 8 in the morning, Beijing time, I believe. Yeah, maybe not extremely comfortable, but yeah, at least not in the middle of the night. The boring thing that I had to announce is that we are again at that time of the year where the world decides to shuffle clocks in a more or less random fashion. Thanks, Antonano, for sharing the link. And so I believe that do you remember in the United States when do we switch clocks? It's first week of November or second week of October? I don't remember.
November 7th.
All right, so next meeting, which is planned for October 26th, will be we will still be everyone with the same clock. And then the one after, let me see, the one after being on November the 9th, we will be in a better place compared to last year, because both Europe and United States will have come back, let's say, to normal standard time, which means that the difference should be felt for the Beijing team, and should not be a big difference. So the timing will stay the same for US, it will stay the same for Europe. It will just slightly change for Beijing as it will shift from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. That should not be a big deal. And therefore, I do not think that we need to consider moving the call to a different time. Does that make sense to you? I'll take
Sounds
that.
good.
Cool.
Mhm.
Thanks, Vicky. I will go by the lazy consensus approach and take silence as a yes. All righty. And this is also all for my boring public service announcement. I don't have anything less boring to discuss today. I don't know if anyone on the meeting would like to come up and propose any topic.
I'll just mention that the new version of the Antrea website is up, and so that's something I brought up for discussion a long time ago, but I didn't have time to get to it until very recently. And so now all the source code for the website lives in its own repository instead of being like hidden away in a separate branch in the Antrea repository. So that means it should be easier for folks to make updates to the website. The docs folder in the main Antrea repo is still the source of truth when it comes to generating documentation, but everything that is like formatting and scripting and so on and so forth is in the Antrea/website repository now. And so if people want to write like blog posts about Antrea, for example, they should be able to open their own PRs, either to link to an external blog post or to host a blog post directly on the website. And I also kind of like automated website generation. So every time there's a new Antrea release, for example, the website will be updated automatically. And we switch website frameworks, even though the website doesn't look too different. We switch from Jekyll to Hugo, and actually the build is much faster now, which probably doesn't matter to most people, but it mattered to me because I was building the website from time to time.
I think that's very good news. I mean, I did not mind having the website in a sort of a very specific branch, but yeah, it was not obvious, especially for, yeah, it was not obvious like having to figure out where the branch was. Yeah, now with the dedicated repo for the website, yeah, it's much better. But the fact that we use still docs as a source of truth, is it just temporary thing, or are you planning to keep it that way?
I mean, that's something we discussed last time. I think we decided to go with that for now so that someone contributing a feature doesn't have to update like things into different places. Basically, especially if you do something small, you can update the docs as part of the same pull request. If this creates issues, then we can revisit that discussion. I think I know a lot of like projects, Kubernetes, for example, put the docs along with the website. For now, I think we're good with what we have. The only thing that can really be an issue at this stage is if there is like a markdown formatting issue in the documentation that doesn't show up in the GitHub markdown renderer, but creates a problem with the website framework. Then we basically have to go back to the main Antrea repo and fix it there and wait for it to propagate to the website. But because we do some linting on the markdown files in the Antrea repo, I think it should be okay. And so far, everything looks good. So I suggest we see how it goes. I think someone may have brought up the possibility of having the website and the documentation in different languages before. So if we do decide to tackle this and have like a Chinese version, for example, of the Antrea documents, and maybe that will influence that decision as well. We'll see.
Okay, thanks, Anton.
But anyway, when you have two versions of the documentation, there is always some, it's always a bit of asynchronous, right? Because the person contributing the documentation in English is not going to be as a person translating that documentation into Chinese. So
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
most of the time, at least. I know a lot of people on the call can speak both English and write both English and Chinese and Mandarin, but yeah, I don't. So.
Yes, and cool. Anything else to add on the website?
That's all for me. But if there's any question, I can answer.
Okay, cool. Right. Since we are in open discussion, I can maybe wait a minute to see if there is any other topic. So please, if you have anything else that you would like to bring up for today, please step forward and propose your topic. Okay, it appears that we might not have any topic, any more topic for today. So if that's the case, we can conclude the meeting here. And I would like to thank Jay not only for attending today's meeting, but also for pretty much volunteering for leading this new format of the Antrea office hours. Many thanks to Antonin also for his work on moving the documentation to its own, the website to its own repository. And well, thanks to everyone else for joining this call. And I wish everyone a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, or a good night. Thanks for joining again, and talk to you in 2 weeks' time.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thank you.